Stewardship's always been an important part of our life.
We try to support those. I can't think of any church does that we don't think is outstanding.
My grandparents joined First Methodist Church about 100 years ago. They were married at First Methodist Church. It was only natural that we too would join First United Methodist Church. Our 3 children represent basically the 4th generation. Stewardship's always been an important part of our life. We were fortunate enough to both be raised in families that took us to church. They taught us to tithe, which was the old biblical standard of 10%. My parents said, you're going to have some particular chores, but we're also going to give you these 3 jars. And I think other people have had this experience, but they said the first one is to church. So Robbie give 10% to the church, and the second jar was for saving. And they said, you need to save as much as you give to the church, or more. And so, what's the third jar for, Daddy? That's for whatever you want to do. Your money will go to where you want it to go. What's important to you, you'll spend your money on. Early on, we did literally what I just described. We took 10% of our gross income. The first check of the month, back in the days of checks, we wrote, it was a point of pride with us, went to the church. Then the next deposit we made was to our savings account, i.e. eventually investments, and it was a matching 10%. And so then we had 80% to live on. 80% of our income in the early years wasn't all that bountiful. But what that teaches you is good financial management. It teaches you to shop the sales. It teaches you to buy a slightly used car instead of a brand new one that automatically depreciates 25% when you drive off the lot.
If we did take vacations, we didn't stay in the fanciest hotels and didn't go on real fancy trips. But
Pam would pack up the picnic basket for the week or whatever at the beach, and we'd share vacations with other families. The last time I went to the grocery store for Pam and made a decision about coffee based upon the cost per ounce was yesterday. And so it's just a mindset.
Both worked hard, coupons at the grocery store, sales, and just being disciplined in how we spend our money.
But that mindset and that commitment and that intentionality has provided us a most blessed life.
Develop a budget. If you don't have one, sit down and come up with one and have your priorities in the right place.
So over time, as we were able to build our income and therefore build our savings, always growing in our giving, it's worked for us. Made the commitment, we give, we save, and then we live on what's left. And that's been a principle that we've really lived by. If you're a person of faith, if you're coming to church, there's got to be some faith in you. Prioritize your faith, and then trust it, try it, have faith in God. That's probably what we can say. We've had faith in God. It's not we do this and He's going to give us a 27% return. It's we have faith in God. It's going to work out. And over that time, we found an intentional financial journey, but it has allowed us to be more generous. And then frankly, we've carried it on throughout our estate plans. Our final plans when we leave this earth is that our estate will be divided into 4 equal pieces, 25% each, one to each of the 3 children. And the 4th one goes into a permanent fund, an endowment at the United Methodist Foundation of Louisiana, where income will be distributed from now until forever to about a half a dozen of those causes that we hold most dear. One of them being our church, First United Methodist Church. So that saving and investment is really important. It will ultimately allow you to give all you can, and you'll probably find out you can give a whole lot more than you thought you could.
All we have comes from God, and we are trustees of that, so we certainly should be willing to save and give back.
Love God, love yourself, love others.